Hi, everyone. Today's live is about meeting your inner child. So I encourage everyone who has a picture of themselves as a child to put it up on their mirror. I can't do that today because my mom has all my pictures. She's held on to them for a very long time. And so one day I know they will be mine. Right now they get to be hers. However, if you do have a picture of yourself, please place it up here. Today's mantra is I love and accept myself fully. I love my inner child, and I am completely safe. I accept her or him just as he is, as she is. This is really important because today we're going to have a conversation with that little girl or that little boy. Doesn't matter how old you are right now. Doesn't matter if you're 60, doesn't matter if you're 80, doesn't matter if you're 55, 40, 20, 30, 25. I don't care how old you are. We each have a child within us, an inner child that requires love and acceptance, full love and acceptance. Many of us have not realized that we also have parents inside of us. Yeah. We are those parents. There is never a moment in which we are not one with everything we see, and that includes our parents. I know many of you are fooled by the 3D illusion and somehow have not understood this aspect, and so you think that because they incarnated separately, they are not you. And I'd hate to break it to you, but we are one with everything at all times, and especially includes our parents. So our parents, just as much as our child, requires acceptance, forgiveness, and love. This talk that I'm about to have with my inner child is unique to me. However, many of you may have a different message. It's okay, but take this job seriously today. This is a very difficult conversation for me. It's what many of you don't realize unless you speak to me on a one-on-one basis and you give me some talk about your upbringing as children. Do you realize that we have very similar experiences? Yeah. I've heard of worse situations than mine, and yet I recognize them as mine at all times. You see, what occurs in time is the wounds that we have spiral out of control and spiral out into our universe. And what we do not let go and we do not forgive, in turn, gets mirrored out by billions of people outside of you that you are as well. Today's conversation with my child is a reminder to her. And you may or may not be ready for what I have to say to this little girl inside of me. But you can use myself as an example, or you can have a very specific conversation with this child. Hi, Cindy. I see you. I see you exactly as you are. And I need you to know how proud I am of you. I'm so, so proud of you. You see, your parents began a war with yourself, an illusion, because you forgot that you chose to be born to aspects of yourself that were the most broken and darkest, hurtful things that you could ever imagine of yourself. You chose to manifest the ultimate act of forgiveness of self by being born to the most dysfunctional parents you have ever had. These parents were created out of your image, and you chose this because you understood that the problems in the universe began with you, began with your misunderstanding, began with the darkness that you incarnated with and that spiraled out of control. You chose the most broken aspects of yourself. These broken aspects of yourself did not understand who you were, did not understand that you were special, did not understand that you needed to be loved, did not understand that you could read minds and that you were born with this ability. Your parents, although they were unique and had special gifts, had no idea that their child would be born identical to them. That was the illusion, you see. Because you were your parents. So as a child, you had no idea. You had no idea. So, you were born into a world in which you could read minds, you could feel everyone's pain, you could teleport, you could bilocate, you could astrally project. You were born mostly part tomboy in a world where society said that girls should be girls and that it was not okay. You were born into a world that was nothing like you, or so it seemed. That was the illusion. You were born to parents that were actually you. And you're asking yourself, why did you choose these darkest aspects of yourself? So I'll tell you. Because you recognized the wound that you projected out into the universe. And you understood that this is exactly what is wrong with the world inside of you. And to correct it, you had to figure out the mystery of yourself. And you have done that. You have forgiven your parents because you know the illusion is that they were somehow different from you, that they somehow weren't you. You have forgiven every aspect of them, and because of that, you have been given access to the mysteries of the universe. And you understand now why you did it. But what I want you to know is that it is okay to love. That just because you love someone does not mean that they will abandon you. I want you to know that I really, really like what you did with what you were given. I'm so proud of you for not seeking outside validation when it wasn't given to you. I'm very, very, very proud of everything, even when you forgot that these things were not you. I am proud of you for always accepting who you are unconditionally and being the example that is now being projected out into the world. I am proud of you for accepting all of your gifts into a society that for all intents and purposes were not ready and that would have considered you crazy, would have labeled you some kind of misfit because you could do things that others couldn't at the time. I want you to know that your mother and you are the same exact person. I want you to know that one day, if you do not forgive her, you will become her, and you will do this to your own child. So today, of all days, it is so important for you to understand the value of forgiveness, of everything, especially your parents, or you will do the same thing and continue generational patterns that you came to destroy. I want you to know that your father will not be much of an influence in your life, although you will be exactly like him because you are one and the same being. The purpose of this is so that the darkness doesn't overcome you the way it has overcome other children. It is required of you to be stronger than most kids. And that is why I'm so proud of you right now. I'm so proud of you. I'm proud of you for fixing yourself. I'm proud of you for solving the mystery. I'm proud of you in every possible way that I can ever come up with, because you have a mission in the world. You were destined for some greatness. You see, you were born with the ability to remember that you are one with everything. You were born as something that is called an empath. And you will not know what that word means because it will be obvious to you before someone even bothers to define it in the world. Now, the purpose of you being born an empath is so that you can always remember that you are one with everything. And that at any point in time you forget this, you will feel them. And you will know that it is one with your being. Today, little one, is about letting you know that you are safe, loved, and accepted. Today, little one, is about forgiving your parents. Today, little one, is about realizing that there is nothing you are not. And so as you stand here in the mirror, I want you to remember your mission. I want you to remember that your healing is what will heal the world inside, and it will be healed outside of you. So this is the most important talk of your life, as you will teach others how to do the same. Today is about loving you and accepting you and ending the war that began when you were a little girl. You remember that war, don't you? You knew you were special, didn't you? Yes. And somehow the outside illusion did not reflect that. And so you were told you were not good enough, and you were told that you were abandoned. And despite all appearances out there in the world, all of these things, they created this war. It's an illusion that once corrected from within, changes everything outside of you. This wound, this old wound, has been clarified. It has been released. It's no longer true of you, is it? You see yourself, don't you? I want you to know how much I love you, how much I accept you, how proud I am, how safe you are. You, that inner child that comes out to play every single day, are responsible for me remaining in heaven at all times. There is a word of God that says to enter the kingdom, honor the child in you. And I know that that word was written especially for us. Because when the world outside appeared as something less than what you were, you had no idea that you were born to fill in the gap. So today, little one, I want to tell you how proud I am for leading the way and for fixing the wound in you that is correcting the outside world automatically. I'm proud of you. Today's journaling exercise, you guys, when you're done with your message, is about taking some crayons, some markers, or some pens. Doesn't matter. Borrow them from your kids if you have them. And use your non-dominant hand. For me, that would be my left, since I'm right-handed. And draw a picture of yourself. Draw that little girl inside or that little boy inside of you. Be creative. Place that drawing in the mirror. Sorry, you guys. Place that drawing in the mirror. And here's what I really want you to do is ask your inner child, what do you want? What do you dislike? What scares you? What do you need? What do I need to do to make you happy? Think about these answers, you guys. Your inner child is responsible for the way that you see the world. And if you can remove the fear from this inner little child right now, you will change your outlook as an adult. Today's message is more about accepting everything you are. That begins in childhood and that continues on forward. Today's message is about understanding that your parents and you are one and the same being. There is never, ever, ever, ever a moment in which you are not one with everything in the world. That's a tough pill to swallow for some of us. Not all. Some of us had great parents. Congratulations. Some of us did not. That's because that was the work that we came here to do. Honor and respect this person. Honor and heal what you are. When we do not forgive what has happened to us as children, we trap ourselves into a war that then gets projected outwardly and then shows up as abandonment, as fear, as daddy issues, mama boy, whatever. You are responsible for fixing this now. We're not living in the past. This is not about that, but this is about healing right now, right this minute, and understanding that your inner child and you are still very much alive, and they need just as much acceptance as they did back then. They need it now. So honor this person. Love this little girl. Love this little boy. Appreciate everything that they are. Love them with every fiber of your being. Heal. Because this wound is the initial war that we are seeing in the universe. This wound is the one, the most important one, that we fix right now. And many of you can't possibly wrap your head around being your parents. Me too. Initially. But thankfully, I had a collective inside of me that kept telling me to forgive them. And when I finally did, as that was the last Achilles heel I had, the mystery of myself was solved. For some of you, you may have others yet to remove from the pool of resentment. That's okay. But what I can promise you is if you begin with these early programs, you will be solving the mystery of yourself. You will see that you are one with everything. And forgiving what we brought ourselves into is a lot easier when we own it. Thank you guys for today's message. Thank you for listening to me talk to my little girl. I hope you guys have just as of a profound message for your inner child as well. And don't forget to draw your pictures, you guys. Non-dominant hand. This will recreate the inner child in you that was just learning how to draw themselves. Love you. Bye-bye.